I'm Richard Ryan, and this week's episode of Reloaded, we're going to talk explosives. This week's episode was Minecraft in real life. Now, I actually filmed this video last year, but wasn't too happy with it because I was off grid and I couldn't remember what the creeper's face looked like, and I kind of botched it up and there was a lot of shaky camera work and everything. But I decided to go ahead and edit it for this week's video for a few reasons. One, to give you a quick explosives 101 on TNT, and then to give you the legalities of explosives on YouTube in general. First off, TNT, or trinitrotoluene, is not to be confused with dynamite. Dynamite was invented by Alfred Nobel and consists of nitroglycerin base, sawdust, powdered silica, and so on. I say consisted of because there's variations now that are not nitroglycerin but ammonium nitrate based, but I digress. We're not talking about dynamite today, we're talking about TNT. Again, TNT, or trinitrotoluene, was invented in 1863 by German chemist Joseph Wilbrand, about a year before Nobel invented dynamite. Now, one of the cool facts about TNT is that it's the baseline of which all explosives are compared to by weight, or their RE factor, or relative effectiveness. Now, I don't want to lecture you guys too much on this episode. I can go over stuff in future episodes like VODs, or velocity of detonations of explosives, and what it translates into when the gases are expanding. But the second thing I'd like to touch on today is the legality of explosives. A lot of you guys watch my videos and see stuff on YouTube where people are doing all kinds of things with explosives. Please understand that I have clearances from the local police, fire, and sheriff's departments, and I notify them every time I film or I'm gonna do a shot. I also have DOD and ATF clearances to manufacture explosives. Well, you hear me talk about binary exploding targets. The most popular is ammonium nitrate base. Now, the brand that pretty much started it all was Tannerite. Comes in a very, very high grade. This is arguably some of the best prilled ammonium nitrate that you can buy on the market. It's one reason why it's a little bit more expensive than some of the cheaper companies out there, where you'll see it come in really, really loose, kind of crystallized, not so much prilled ammonium nitrate. Now, this stuff doesn't detonate as easy as the prilled stuff. It doesn't always give as good as an effect as the higher grade stuff, but you can find it in bulk for a lot cheaper. Another thing is the catalysts for a lot of these are proprietary. Now, Tannerite and a bunch of different manufacturers out there, Star and Zombie or Zomboom and stuff like that, we've shot in slow motion. And for the most part, the standard high velocity ammonium nitrate based targets are non-flammable. Whenever you take Tannerite, you can douse it in gasoline and shoot it, and it's not going to generate a flame. So you don't have to worry about fire hazards and stuff like that. A lot of the low velocity stuff that can be detonated with lower velocity calibers or detonations and stuff like that, tend to be more flammable or less stable than the high velocity stuff. Now, whenever you get into the different types of catalysts used, you really, really need to make sure that you're operating in a safe area, because I've used Tannerite in so many different locations and stuff, and I don't want this to turn into a big promo for Tannerite or anything like that, but I've used it a lot. We've doused these in gasoline before. We've set up styrofoam, we've set up tinder and stuff like that, trying to get it to catch fire, and it just won't do it. It creates water vapor whenever it detonates. That's why you see the big white ammonium nitrate cloud and everything thereafter. Now, some of the lower velocity stuff, like the rimfire sensitive stuff, or stuff that you can detonate with lower velocity explosives, tend to be flammable. So whenever you're out shooting recreationally and stuff, make sure you do it in a very safe environment, because the last thing you want to do is start a wildfire. Another thing is the grade of ammonium nitrate. Now, if you just compare these two right here, the Tannerite is a little bit more expensive than the mom and pop brand ammonium nitrate stuff. This is a little more crystallized. This is prilled ammonium nitrate. This tends to get better results. It tends to detonate on every shot, whereas this stuff doesn't always go off. We've actually had Tannerite that we set out overnight. Technically, as soon as you mix the explosive, you have X amount of hours to detonate it. Otherwise, you need to have a storage magazine to be able to store it legally. We set it out, we let it rain on it and everything, and then dry up, and then we tried shooting it and it still detonated. Now, keep in mind, a lot of times you'll see me without gloves whenever I'm handling this stuff, but at the time that it comes out of the bag or I'm mixing it, especially with stuff that's nitroglycerin based like TNT or C4 and stuff like that, you'll always see me wearing gloves, because if you take and you hold that stuff in your hands, the nitroglycerin will absorb into your hand, you'll get a nitro headache, and it's not a fun time. That stuff It just has to run its course, and you can't take any medicine that's gonna help you out with it. But another cool fact about TNT is it has a melting point of 80 degrees. A lot of times you'll see people take and use TNT flakes like what I used in the Minecraft video, and they'll melt that down and they'll form it into different shapes for different charges. Sometimes you can mold it down into something that you could use for ballistics, or you can use it into a round or something like that. But keep that in mind. Now, why is that important? Binary targets are becoming very popular, and mom and pop manufacturers are popping up left and right. As of right now, binary exploding targets are legal in every single state in the US for personal use. The key word is personal use. If you make 1 penny off of your YouTube videos, or even make a video that you don't monetize off of, but it's used to promote your business, it's technically manufacturing for profit. Therefore, it's illegal for you to shoot it and profit off of it on YouTube. Now, I know a lot of you might be saying to yourself, well, that's stupid. If I can shoot it for personal use, why can't I shoot it in a YouTube video without a license? Well, laws are enforced by the interpretations of how they're written, so that can vary depending on who's reading it. The simple act of mixing 2 non-explosives, you might not ever get in trouble for. But if someone wants to get you on a technicality, they very well could. If you guys have any questions about licenses, permits, explosives, or so on, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to cover them in the next 101 video. I have more manufacturing, instructor permits, coach ratings, and stuff that I know what to do with, so I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Now, keep in mind, anytime you're shooting a reactive target, you do so at a safe distance, and anytime you're shooting in general, you have an appropriate backstop. Today, we're shooting at my 2,000-yard range, so we have plenty of range out there. Now, don't forget, new episodes are rated RR every single week, and new episodes are reloaded right here on TechFeed. I think that one did it.